tell me what it is, it's taking me forever to find it. It's 1 plus 2 plus that mess?
Yeah.
Yes.
Find the extreme and points of inflection and all that stuff. Here, just read it to me. 1 plus 2 plus t, that's all I got so far.
G of t equals 1 plus 2. Yeah.
Equal, I don't remember the rest.
E to the
E to the negative
t.
1.
Okay, so g prime of t, the 1 goes to 0. Yeah, Merriman?
So just real quick, is that one we have in the top right? That is for if the u is a variable.
Correct. If a is a number and u is a variable. Alright, so 1 goes to 0, then I'm going to do derivatives. 1 e to the negative t plus, I always do the first one first, I know lots of you don't, times negative 1 e to the negative t times 2 plus t. Then I want to make it easy to work with, so I'm going to factor. That gives me a 1 minus 2 minus t. That gives me, check me on this. No, I'll just do it out. Negative 1 minus t, negative 1 plus t. Is that what you guys get?
T minus 1. So negative 1, because 1 minus 2 is negative 1.
Yeah, negative 1 and negative t, so I factored a negative out.
Yeah.
Most of you do these in opposite order, and most of you switch these two up, but you'll have to deal with my crazy way of doing it. Okay, so when I'm looking for extreme, I set this thing equal to 0. This negative e to the negative t never equals 0, so I don't have to worry about it. 1 plus t equals 0 when t is negative 1, so that's my crit. I can do either the first derivative. How many of you like picking a point on either side to find increasing, decreasing? How many of you would prefer to take the second derivative and sub your crit into the second derivative?
Depends on how hard the first derivative was.
Right, or in this case we had to find points of inflection. We're going to have to find that second derivative anyway, so maybe I'll just do it. I'm erasing this.
Wouldn't it be u instead of x, d of du?
No, that's good. I wanted somebody to ask that question. This means that all our variables are in terms of x. So if I have a u, it means u is in terms of x. So we say, take the derivative in terms of x of whatever this function is. In other words, when we're done here, there won't be any u's, they'll all be x's, some form of x.
I want to cry.
Where u is in terms of x. I didn't write those words. Okay, so second derivative. Derivative of e to the negative t is there plus 1 negative e to the negative t. Ooh, check me on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Take out an e to the negative t, and I got 1 plus t minus 1. I'm getting the second derivative as e to the negative t times t.
So t e to the negative.
T e to the negative t.
Why did you do
T.
1 plus t minus 1 is t. Somebody check me. Somebody check and see if that's what you got too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, good. All right, setting that equal to 0 will give me points of that's possible points of inflection. And that's going to happen only when t is equal to 0, because e to the negative t is never equal to 0. Do you agree? Okay? So I guess I should put my PPOI here. And G double prime of my crit is 1e, negative 1e to the 1 equals a negative e, which is less than 0. So my crit is a relative
Minimum.
Maximum.
Should we take a vote? I'm moving through this pretty fast, so stop me and say slow down. Maybe what I need to do is have you move through it. This is the day when I spend more time up at the board and you spend time staring at me like I have no idea what she just did. Okay, aside from the arithmetic and the factoring part, are you good with what's going on here as far as the calculus part goes? Yes or no?
Oh yeah.
Yes. I'll catch up, I'll let you.
All right. How about the arithmetic part? Are you with me? Sorta?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, tell me, is it a relative max or a relative min when I get a negative second derivative? When the critical value plugged into the second derivative gives me a negative answer, that means I'm concave down. Just visualize it. I'm concave down, so is it a max or a min? There we go, now we're saying it. It's a relative max. Okay, so we've got a relative max at t equals negative 1. Are our values increasing or decreasing around t equals negative 1? Well, a quick test will tell me. So from, wait, we've got some domain restrictions here. No, we're good. Domain's good. So negative infinity to negative 1. And then from negative 1 to positive infinity. What's going on with our first derivative? G prime is doing what?
Getting bigger.
Is G prime positive or negative on the left-hand side of our crit?
Negative.
Well, you can plug a quick value and see. Just substitute something little and negative in here. I've got a negative times a negative.
Positive.
I'm going to leave you guys to figure that out. And then on the double prime, do the same thing. G double prime of t, we're looking for values. For that, we're looking between with the 0. So we're looking for negative infinity less than t less than 0. And then our next interval is from 0 to infinity. Find out where you're increasing and decreasing. And then figure out if you've got a point of inflection. I'm going to walk around and see if I can answer questions on this, because this is the nutshell version of everything we did first semester.